Hey guys, it's Nathan from the Rambling Rome YouTube channel. We are in northern Indiana, close to the shores of Lake Michigan at the Indiana Dunes Visitor Center, where we are going to spend 2 days in the Indiana Dunes National Park. We're starting our journey here at the Welcome Center. It should be noted that it was really the Welcome Center not only for the National Park, but for the State Park. The National Park basically envelops the State Park with the State Park land in the center, so it's really impractical to think about Indiana Dunes without thinking about both the National Park and the State Park, although we're going to focus most of our time in the National Park. We are going to do a bike ride here at the park, and then we're going to mainly take advantage of ranger-led programs that are offered in the park. So I think it's going to be a great way to sort of experience and really just kind of scratch the surface of all that's out here. Indiana Dunes actually has more plant diversity per mile than any other place in the United States. So that makes it pretty darn unique place to visit. A really interesting coming together of plant species here, and also a lot of bird life as well. We've got forest meeting dune and bogs and all kinds of neat places to explore. So come along with us as we spend the next 2 days exploring the national park, and hopefully this can serve as a bit of a guide for you and encourage you to come and explore Indiana Dunes. So we have left the visitor center where we picked up a parking pass. We presented our America the Beautiful pass, and it's kind of cool how it works. It basically just slips into a little thing that hooks on your rearview mirror. But we are actually right across from the Dunes Learning Center, and we're going to park here, and this is going to serve as the base for our bike ride. But we are going to start over here on the western end of the park off a little spur trail, pick up that trail, head over to the state park, right out to the beach, and then continue on out towards Michigan City, and then come back again. Look forward to doing this ride. Calumet Trail. So we've come up this trail, and we're going to continue on this trail, but first we are going to head out up to the state park and get a view of our first view of Lake Michigan. Dunes Pavilion, and our first look at Lake Michigan. So this is the Indiana Dunes State Park campground. It actually has electric, and then the National Park campground actually is a little more primitive. It does not have electric, I don't believe. But these fill up way in advance. We actually thought about coming here and found that they were sold out, and then I later read that this particular campground is one of the most popular in Indiana. It fills up way in advance. So if you think you want to come and camp, make your reservations early. After lunch, we headed to West Beach to enjoy a dip in the lake. The beaches in the National Park are generally less busy than the State Park, in part because they involve either a walk or a short hike out to the beach from the parking lot. Shannon, how's the water?
A little bit chilly, but it's nice.
After our beach time, we changed clothes and met up with a ranger for our guided hike on the Succession Trail, which is only about a mile long but includes 270 stairs, so there is a bit of a climb. But overall, it wasn't too strenuous and was very interesting, as there were lots of stops along the way to learn about the 4 stages of dune formation, as well as some of the native plant and animal life facts.
So it's the next morning, and we thought our initial plan was to go to Cowles Bog and do that trail. It's like a 4.7 mile trail. This summer, and I think probably for the past few summers, they have a 66 mile challenge. It's called the 1966 Challenge. It basically marks the first full year when this became a national seashore, and they've come up with, over a series of weekends, they come up with ranger-led hikes where if you complete all these throughout the course of the summer, you'll complete all 66 miles of trail in the park. We went there this morning, and people were coming off the trail, locals, and basically saying that the bugs were the worst they'd ever seen. So if you're going to do any of the bog trails, a little tip is a lot of locals have this mosquito like face mesh net that they actually wear over their head. So you'd want to pick up something like that. All the locals had that. They're covered in bug spray. A lot of them wearing long pants, and we didn't have any of that. So we asked the volunteer there for a recommendation for another hike, and he said, his favorite place in the whole park to hike is Long Lake, which is so we're basically back at West Beach this morning. So we had completed the Succession Trail last night, and there's 2 more trails out here, and we're going to complete those other trails. So we will, in essence, basically be completing, it's like a 3-loop trail that exists out here. So I'll include a link to that on AllTrails if you want to do it in one push. We really enjoyed the ranger information, so that was a real treat last night. But we're going to see what is likely some of the most scenic trails in the park. So come along, we'll finish up the trails out at West Beach.
I want to give a shout out to Cookie, our park ranger who led the Succession Trail hike, who turned me on to the Seek app, which allowed me to identify a few of the many plants we saw along this beautiful trail. After lunch, we made our way to the Chellberg Farm Open House. The Chellberg Farm is one of the few remaining intact representations of a unique Swedish immigrant community in northwestern Indiana known as Baileytown. We enjoyed hiking along the Bailey-Chellberg Trail and getting to explore both in and around the farmhouse and get a glimpse back into the history of this area. One activity we had hoped to do was to take a ranger-led boat tour from Michigan City, but they were sold out during our visit. So we opted instead to take a drive along Lakefront Drive, which afforded us the opportunity to pass by the 1933 Chicago World's Fair Century of Progress homes, as well as get some excellent views of Lake Michigan. Our last activity of the day was to take advantage of the Mount Baldy Open House, where we met in the Mount Baldy parking lot for a ranger-led hike to the top of the beautiful and famous Mount Baldy. Mount Baldy is a 120-foot sand dune at the southern tip of Lake Michigan, lying within the eastern end of Indiana Dunes National Park. The dune began forming some 4,000 years ago and is continually changing as a result of natural factors. During the last 175 years, human-caused influences have greatly impacted sand movement at Mount Baldy, causing the dune to move inland at an unnatural and an alarmingly fast rate. Since the dune is closed for general public use, this ranger-led tour is the only safe way for visitors to experience the beauty and spectacular views from the top of one of the tallest dunes in the national park. As always, we hope you found this content useful. If you did, please like the video and consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks.